pretty much I have taken all day. Doesn't look like I've done a whole lot to the car, as you can tell. Pretty much took all day to find the proper screws that fit each and every one of these bolts so I can actually mount up the front clip. I have those in the car already. I'll post a picture right here of what the car looks like with the front clip just set in place. Obviously, I still have to clean everything up. It's still all rusty and nasty and all that stuff. I also did the same thing with the rear. I need to get some new carriage bolts for the back of the car and the bumper area. It's only held on with 3, and this one's stripped. It won't even get tight. The bumper's a little tweaked, so it's kind of hitting in certain spots. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's definitely a little tweaked right there, so I can't get it on straight, so I'm gonna have to try and bend that back. I also took a picture of it with the taillights in there. I will place that picture in there right here so you can see what that looks like. I definitely think I'm gonna lift the back of the car up. There's just too much of a rake going on. But tomorrow in the morning, we will turn around and go to the parts store. So we'll get going there, and we'll find all those bolts so we can get this front end put together and see how it all fits together, get these body lines right. And then I'm going to take it all back apart so I can paint this engine bay and this fender. Still got to cut the hood so I can clear the scoop. I'm honestly thinking about, I haven't done a whole lot with the fuel system yet. I'm still running that factory tank, and I think I sucked something up in the carburetor. And instead of getting it rebuilt, I'm kind of toying around with the idea of doing like a Holley Sniper kit and swapping it over to EFI, just to not even worry about cold start, stuff like that. But yeah, we'll get to it, and I'll see you in the morning. And I forgot to show you, here's all the bolts. Have them each laid out in bags, saying what they are, how many I need of each one. Grill bolts, headlight bezels, headlight retaining bezel, bumper carriage bolts. So I need 6 of those because only 3 per bumper. The front of the fenders, I was missing those bolts, so I found a nut and a bolt that'll work. And my tail lights, I just need a nut and a washer, stuff like that. So here's the new tail lights. The old tail lights were all cracked and falling apart, which actually I will go ahead and show you that. It's chilling right here in the trash can. That's what's left of them. There's not a whole lot. They're pretty well destroyed. The new ones look much better. You know, nice crystal clear, well, crystal ruby red. And they look really good, as you can tell from that picture I posted earlier. Very high quality. They're from a company I found called Ford Restoration Parts. I'll put a link in the description for them. If you're working on anything, they sell stuff for Fairlanes, Falcons, Mustangs, anything you can think of Ford-wise. They don't sell a whole lot of miscellaneous little stuff, but like the popular stuff, very fair pricing. I think it was $50 for both taillights. Yeah, and that's about it. So, catch you tomorrow. Alright guys, so we're back. It's the next day, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of dragging. I'm a little tired, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a power stroke, get some coffee, and while we're out, we'll grab these nuts and bolts, stop by the hardware store, see if we can't match them up, get everything we need to put this thing back together. But for right now, let's get a cold start on the power stroke. Oh yeah, she sounds like a beast. All right, we'll start heading that way and film some stuff along the way. Oh, there she is, boys.
Wow, meron ka na again.
Yes, can I get a large coffee, 4 creams, 4 sugars?
Large hot 4 and 4?
Yes, and then can I also get a multi-grain bagel toasted with cream cheese?
And a multi-grain bagel toasted with cream cheese?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a large hot 4 and 4 and a multi-grain bagel with cream cheese. Anything else?
No, ma'am.
That was it?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty, dear. Come on up. We'll have it at the window.
Awesome, thank you. Hello. There you go. How much was it, by the way? $5.84. Alright. Thank you. Thanks, you too. Alright guys, we're back in the garage. So we made it to the True Value, went through everything, I put everything up. I found everything except for carriage bolts for my bumper and the little headlight retaining screws, these things. Other than that, I got all these bolts, and believe it or not, when they nickel and dime you at 15 cents a piece for this one and 40 cents a piece for that one, that shit gets expensive, man. But the other thing I wanted to show you is, I forgot to mention the other night, I made some brackets for the fuel cell. That's what these are. This one's the back bracket, so it's going to bolt it in like this somewhere, and that cutout right there is for the sump and the for the fuel lines to come out of the fuel cell once it's replaced this fuel tank. So this will get bolted in from the bottom. I'll have just a sheet of metal going over top that the fuel cell sits on top of, but this 1/4-inch aluminum will actually be what supports the fuel cell once it's in there. Again, not really sure when that's going to show up. It hasn't said that it's shipped yet, so I guess it is what it is. And we'll just start working on little things. But basically, I made those brackets. I looked up the basic dimensions of the fuel cell and kind of guesstimated. I would have definitely cut this opening out a lot smaller had I known, but I just centered it on the beam. Knew that the fuel cell was going to be centered on it. And basically, I took 10 inches out of the center, left a little lip right here so it's got some rigidity. But other than that, this is just some scrap aluminum we had laying around, and it's very light. I was going to make it out of steel, but that's definitely way lighter. Hopefully that thing will ship and we can start working on that and actually get some decent fuel without all this gunk in it, and see if this thing like actually start again. Because the other day I went to go start it and she wouldn't start. So it's either out of fuel or it sucked something bad up. But it did run off carb cleaner, so that's good to know. But yeah, for now, we're going to get started and start working towards getting this front end together and all that other stuff. I still have to find the, like I said, carriage bolts. This is actually bent out of place. I have to bend that bracket back in order for it to bolt on. That's why only that side is bolted up, because those completely are not aligned. It's off by like an inch. Still have to cut the hood. Might lay some tape lines out for that, and then order the contouring tool. Get like a 20-inch contouring tool and get the shape of this thing. Mark it out on the hood and try and cut like a perfect cut. I doubt it'll come out good. If it comes out bad, I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm just going to throw the hood away and run without a hood. But yeah, we're going to start working towards that. I might actually start working on taping stuff off, cleaning it and all that, and painting the engine bay, because this thing's a little nasty. Might take a palm sander to this, sand this down real good, and spray paint that white, so at least it matches the rest of the car. And yeah, we're just going to be kind of plugging away at it, little things here and there. Like I said, I'm still waiting on a bunch of stuff to show up that's on order. A lot of the stuff is from eBay, so it's around the holidays. People take their time sending stuff. The mail is overloaded. So yeah, we'll get to it and we'll start working on some just some random stuff, and we'll see what we come up with. Alright guys, so I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and get the tail lights mounted in there. I'm not going to wire anything today, but I'm going to do the tail lights, the bezels, the grill. I'm going to get all this stuff mounted up today and cue the time lapse now. Alright guys, well, that's what she looks like from the back now. Like I said, I wasn't able to get these carriage bolts, and I do have to get some new ones. They're rounded off. The part that's square that's supposed to be in the bumper is rounded off, so I'm gonna have to get new ones of those. The bumper is actually a little tweaked. You can see where it's hitting right there, so I do think I'm gonna remove this little top piece right here that you mount your tag to. I can just mount it down a little bit lower, and I think it'll be just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that off and see if I can't get this bumper on there somewhat better, because this one doesn't even line up. I can't get it to, like, you can see how it's kind of lined up, but not really. So I'm gonna try and do that next, and we'll continue this time lapse. So here we go. Alright guys, well, you see she's on there, nice and hard mounted. Got it to line up. It was just this one piece that was keeping it from lining up right. So now I just need to get the new carriage bolts, and I'll change them out one at a time. That way the bumper doesn't even have to come off again, and keep on going. And eventually I'll probably polish this up, make it look nice and chrome again, because I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it's a little green, kind of nasty. I know when I polish it up, it's probably not going to come out the best, but it'll kind of go with the theme of the car. It's not going to be a perfect looking car. It's definitely going to look a little ratty. But for now, let's move on to the front, and we'll get started doing that. Alright guys, so next we're going to go ahead and start working on getting this front clip together. I already took the bumper off, but we're going to start working on getting the grill and the headlights and all that other stuff inside. Again, not really going to be worrying about wiring up the headlights. They're very simple to get to. If you come over here and inside the fender, you can see that's the headlight wires right here. Kind of hard to see right there. So I'm not too worried about wiring those up today. I'll get to them. I'm actually gonna rewire the entire car and put a updated fuse box and all that stuff in the car. So for right now, we're just gonna be bolting it up, trying to get it right, and then I'm probably not going to work on the front bumper, because as you can see, this bumper bracket is straight right here. And if you come on straight on with the other frame rail, you see how that one's bent out of shape. I'm going to have to heat this up and bang it back about an inch, and then the bumper will line up. I still haven't even decided if I'm even going to run a bumper. I might wind up liking it without one. Just do some nice, box this all in to make it look nice. Mount a keg gas tank right here, and then paint all this red black eventually. But I want to make sure the grille and the headlights and all that stuff fit nicely. As you can tell, I've already set everything in place, but I just got the bolts today, so we're going to go ahead and try and mock it up fully and bolt everything down and see what it looks like. So we're going to begin this time lapse now. Well, boys and girls, as you can tell from the time lapse, it's all put back together. Like I said, I still got to do the bend that bracket back into place to see if I like the bumper, but I mean, she's on there. Nothing's moving anymore. I mean, she's stout. Everything seems to fit together real nicely. So I think we're gonna get the torch out and do some measurements and see if we can't straighten this guy up. She's definitely a little tweaked. Not really sure exactly what happened there, but this one seems to be just fine. It's this one that's out of whack. And see if we can't get the bumper on. See what it's gonna really look like with everything lined up and put on the right way. And then we might lay some tape lines and get ready to cut the hood. I don't know if we're gonna cut the hood in this episode, but we'll at least lay the tape lines and see. And then, like I said, I still got to get the contouring tool so I can get the exact shape of that scoop. And because I want to try and make it as clean as a cut as possible. If I have to, I'll just cut a big square. I'd prefer not to do that. I'd like it to be nice and tight and clean like. But until then, we'll get the torch out, and hopefully you guys like time lapses, because there is a lot of those in this video. Here we go. What's up, guys? So we're back, and we got a slight little intermission. My buddy Zach came over, and he's gonna give me his opinion on the car. He hasn't seen it yet. So, Zach,
how's it going, guys? I'm Zach. This thing right here is pretty. She's got a lot of work into her right now. Still gotta do a lot more, but she's definitely worth it, every penny.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's definitely in your words. Since I bought the thing, you think it's?
Oh man, it's coming along.
Yeah.
It's definitely coming along.
Yeah,
When
Zach
you first showed me the picture of it, I was like, huh. I was kind of hesitating. I was like, damn, that's gonna be a lot of work. But now I'm looking at it, it's pretty good, man.
Yeah, but yeah. So didn't film it, but before you guys went on that slight little break, obviously for you it was like the blink of an eye, but for me it's been a couple hours. Zach helped me put the hood on. We took the scoop off. We marked out where I have to cut for the the scoop, and obviously these are not the final cut lines. I'm going to use that contouring tool I was talking about and get the exact shape of it, but I just wanted to get the center and exactly where the scoop would come through at. So that's what we got going on right here, and
Work in progress.
Work in progress. So we'll get back to it and enjoy. Well, I think we got it. It's right there at 33 inches. So this one's a little off, but the front one's, or the top one's good. That one should be still good. So let's test fit this bumper and we'll see. We're gonna give it a minute to cool off, but for you guys, it'll be like a flash. All right, guys. Well, there she is with the bumper on her. It's nothing all that special. It's still loosely put on there. It's not on there tight. I just wanted to see if the bolts would line up to where I could bolt it down. And they do, so I'm happy with that. I'm gonna have to play with it here a little bit. This side sits a little closer than this side does. I still need to track down and find one of these filler panels that goes right here. I'm still not 100% if I'm even gonna run this bumper or if I'm just gonna not have a bumper at all. But I think that'll be it for today's video. And I really appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.